World War II, a global conflict that reshaped the world and left an indelible mark on history. It was a time of immense struggle, sacrifice, and heroism. The skies over Europe were a battleground where brave young men took to the air, facing incredible dangers and uncertainties. Among these men were the air crews of the B-17 Flying Fortress, a bomber that played a crucial role in the Allied war effort, a time of battles in the sky. These aerial duels were not just about skill and strategy, but also about sheer willpower and determination. The pilots and gunners who manned these planes knew that every mission could be their last. They flew through flak-filled skies, dodging enemy fighters and braving the elements, all in the name of freedom and victory. High above Europe, brave young men faced incredible dangers. They were often just out of their teens, yet they carried the weight of the world on their shoulders. Each mission required meticulous preparation, from checking the aircraft to briefing the crew. The camaraderie among these men was palpable, as they relied on each other for survival. One fear stood out: a crash landing in a B-17 Flying Fortress. The B-17 was a formidable aircraft known for its durability and firepower. However, it was not invincible. Enemy fire, mechanical failures, and adverse weather conditions could all lead to a crash landing. For the crew, this was a nightmare scenario, as the chances of survival were slim. Why? Because tucked away in the bomber's belly was the ball turret gunner. This position was one of the most dangerous on the aircraft. The ball turret was a small, cramped sphere that housed a single gunner. It was designed to provide a 360-degree field of fire, but it also made the gunner incredibly vulnerable. His spot, a tiny ball, offered no way out in a crash. The ball turret was suspended below the aircraft, and in the event of a crash landing, it was often the first part of the plane to hit the ground. The gunner had no escape route, and the chances of survival were almost non-existent. This led to a chilling myth among the aircrews. The story went, a ball turret gunner crushed on impact. This tale spread like wildfire among the aircrews, adding to the already high levels of anxiety and fear. The thought of being trapped in the ball turret during a crash was a terrifying prospect, and it haunted the dreams of many young gunners. This scary story went around among the aircrews. It became a part of the lore of the B-17, a grim reminder of the dangers they faced every time they took to the skies. The myth of the crushed gunner was a symbol of the ultimate sacrifice, a testament to the bravery and resilience of these young men. But Alan McGee, a young ball turret gunner, proved this story wrong. On January 3, 1943, during a mission over France, McGee's B-17 was hit by enemy fire. The plane was severely damaged, and McGee was forced to bail out without a parachute. Miraculously, he survived the fall, landing on the glass roof of a train station, which broke his fall. His story wasn't one of defeat, but of an amazing survival. McGee's incredible tale of endurance and luck became legendary. He suffered multiple injuries, but lived to tell the tale, defying the myth of the crushed gunner. His story serves as a powerful reminder of the human spirit's capacity to overcome even the most dire circumstances. January 3rd, 1943. The world was engulfed in the flames of World War II, and every day brought new challenges and missions for the Allied forces. On this particular day, a significant mission was about to unfold over the skies of Europe. The air was filled with the deep rumble of plane engines. These were the sounds of determination and courage, as brave men took to the skies to fight for freedom and justice. 72 B-17 Flying Fortresses flew across the English Channel. These massive bombers, known for their durability and firepower, were a crucial part of the Allied air strategy. Each plane carried a crew of 10 men, each with a specific role to play in the mission. Their target, the German U-boat base at Nazaire, France. This base was a critical point for the German Navy, housing the deadly U-boats that threatened Allied shipping routes. Destroying it would deal a significant blow to the enemy's naval capabilities. Among them was the Snap, Crackle, Pop, its crew nervous and ready. This particular B-17 had a reputation for its resilience and the camaraderie of its crew. They had been through many missions together, and today would be no different. At just 24 years old, Staff Sergeant Alan McGee was in the ball turret. This was one of the most dangerous positions on the bomber, as the gunner was exposed to enemy fire from below. McGee, however, was known for his calm under pressure and his sharp shooting skills. This was his seventh mission, his last mission. The crew had been through intense training and had already faced numerous dangers in the skies. Each mission brought them closer to their goal, but also closer to the ever-present threat of enemy fire. He didn't know it, but fate had other ideas. As the bombers approached their target, the skies darkened with flak and enemy fighters. The mission that started with such determination would soon take an unexpected turn, testing the limits of courage and survival. High above France, the B-17S ran into a storm of anti-aircraft fire. German guns blasted the sky, trying to shoot down the bombers. A huge explosion shook the snap. Crackle, pop! The plane, badly damaged, started to spin down towards the ground. Panic broke out inside. Men scrambled for their parachutes, their faces filled with fear. But McGee, trapped in his ball turret, couldn't escape. At 20,000 feet, in all the chaos and freezing wind, McGee was thrown from the breaking plane. He tumbled through the air, his body spinning, the ground rushing up at him. The force of the fall ripped off his oxygen mask, leaving him struggling to breathe in the thin, icy air. Time seemed to slow down, like it was forever. He was alone, falling, heading towards what seemed like certain death. McGee didn't know it, but there was a tiny bit of hope waiting below. The small French town of Saint Nazaire was busy, unaware of the drama happening overhead. In the middle of the town was a grand train station, its glass roof shining in the afternoon sun. And it was here, by a strange twist of fate, that McGee's terrifying fall would become unbelievable. With a huge crash, he smashed through the station's glass roof. The impact, though softened by the glass, was terrible. McGee lay broken and bleeding among the shattered glass. Incredibly, he was alive. German soldiers, hearing the noise, rushed over. They found McGee, barely awake, his body covered in broken bones and cuts. A German doctor called to the scene and was amazed that McGee was still alive. He quickly started treating the young airman's injuries, saving his life. McGee drifted in and out of consciousness, his body in terrible pain. He was a prisoner of war, captured by the enemy he had been sent to fight, but even so he was alive. His captors, maybe surprised by his amazing survival, treated him with a strange kind of respect. He was taken to a hospital where he had many operations and months of difficult recovery. As the war went on, McGee stayed a prisoner, his spirit strong despite everything he had been through. He held on to the hope of freedom, of going home. Finally, in May 1945, he was free. The war in Europe was over. McGee, along with many other Allied prisoners, was free again. He went back to the United States, a hero. His story a powerful example of the strength of the human spirit. Alan McGee's story is one of incredible luck, a tale that defies the very essence of human understanding. Born in Plainfield, New Jersey, McGee enlisted in the United States Army Air Forces during World War II, driven by a sense of duty and patriotism. Little did he know that his name would be etched in history for an extraordinary reason. His story is a testament to how unpredictable fate can be. On January 3, 1943, during a bombing mission over Saint-Nazaire, France, McGee's B-17 Flying Fortress was severely damaged by enemy fire. With the aircraft spiraling out of control, McGee was left with no choice but to jump without a parachute, plummeting over 20,000 feet. His survival, against all the odds, was a miracle. Miraculously, McGee crashed through the glass roof of the Saint-Nazaire train station, which broke his fall and saved his life. Despite suffering multiple injuries, including a broken leg, ankle, and nearly every bone in his body, he lived to tell the tale. He lived a full life with the scars from that terrible day, both physical and emotional. These scars were a constant reminder of his brush with death, but they also symbolized his resilience and will to live. McGee went on to marry and have children, cherishing every moment with his family, but also with the memory of a miracle. He often reflected on that fateful day, contemplating the sheer improbability of his survival. His story became a beacon of hope, inspiring many who heard it. McGee's life was a testament to the power of the human spirit and the mysteries of fate. the man who fell from the sky, defying the laws of nature and the expectations of all who heard his story. His fall was not just a physical descent, but a metaphorical one, representing the trials and tribulations that life can throw at us. The ball turret gunner who cheated death. McGee's story is a powerful reminder of the fragility of life and the strength of the human spirit. His experience during the war, particularly that harrowing fall, became a defining moment in his life. He became a symbol of hope, a living legend who was celebrated for his incredible survival. McGee received numerous accolades and was often invited to speak at events, sharing his story with awestruck audiences. A living reminder that even in the worst times there is always a glimmer of hope. McGee's story resonated with people of all ages, teaching them about courage, resilience, and the unpredictable nature of life. The human spirit can survive. Alan McGee's life, marked by an extraordinary event, serves as a powerful testament to the resilience and strength inherent in all of us. His legacy continues to inspire, reminding us that miracles can happen and the human spirit can endure even the most unimaginable challenges.